Welcome back to the channel, guys. Some of you have probably seen on our social media account this camp with these orange wheels and graphics on it. But today we're gonna go and walk through it, kind of show you what's going on with it. It's kind of got a unique layout, kind of incorporates the traditional layout with a couple little features that he wanted to add. So anyways, there's not a lot different on the exterior. Didn't really add anything out of the ordinary there. It does have the heated tanks and some things there, but really aside from the graphics and the wheel package, everything's pretty well standard out here. So we're going to spend the majority of our time inside. So let's go in and see what's going on. So first thing you'll notice is he's got some courtesy lights that are switched there at the back, so that if he needs to get up in the middle of the night or whatever, he's got some lights that way. I'll come back here and kind of show you. So they're switched here, and then he's also, which don't mind this setup, I'm waiting on my switch to arrive, but this one's got a light switch at the front and the rear to where he can turn them on from wherever it is that he's at. But maybe we'll just start up here in the front like we always do. So we've got our closet set up here, and it's all got lights too. Maybe I'll hurry and turn them on while we're... So you got lighted cabinets in here, and then you've got your rows of drawers. These are pretty heavy duty, pretty well. They got 200-pound drawer slides on them with the catches, so they stay closed. Then you've got your stainless steel fridge freezer combo. It'll run on AC power or propane. He opted out of the microwave up here, but it's still wired for one, so if he decides he wants to put one in, not a big deal. Soft close hinges. Then you have our pull-out pantries. So you got one up top, as well as one down low. And then a little storage up above. Now he did want these oil lamps. This is definitely a first. For me, I've not put these in before, so interested to see how those work. And then you have your wood burning stove. And then some overhead storage. These have the gas struts on them, so keeps them up while you're loading stuff up or getting stuff out. 3-burner range top with the oven. This one does have a pull-out cutting board. And then he's got a row of drawers underneath that. Now, so far, nothing's really changed as far as layout stuff, very similar to what we do. Now, this is where it kind of gets a little bit different. I don't know if you can tell, but you can see on this trundle bed, it's split. So there's actually 2 trundle beds on here, and I'll show you how these work. So I'll remove these cushions. Sorry, I'm probably making you motion sick. Okay, so we've got a latch on this side, and then this whole bed will pull out. Okay, and he's got this divider in there, and the idea behind it is he'll put his bench cushions and they'll set on top of this sheet and make a bed that way, and then he can also store gear and everything underneath that. So that's kind of his thoughts. It is pretty stout where you can push on this. It's got casters all the way around it. But yeah, he'll have one on both sides to where it gives him kind of some options as far as sleeping. Also gives you a little walkway down the middle if you are on that upper bed to be able to get in and out. Then you have your pull-out table. And it'll pull out as deep as what those benches are, so it'll pull out a long ways. And then this just has some storage, feeds all the way to the back. These benches have the soup boxes in them. And then you have your storage underneath all of these. This one is set up with the wine guard gateway, so he can have internet if he desires to. It'll also pick up a ton of stations. Just sitting here in the parking lot, maybe we'll just turn it on. But it's kind of a cool setup. It's a antenna that'll work with your stereo also, which is super nice just because like the stereos in general anymore, they don't put a lot of money into their antenna equipment. So trying to pick up stations with the stereo is a little bit difficult. So this is a good solution. You can pick up a lot of stations with your stereo. Also with your TV, it's all 12 volt, no need to run the generator. So right now, yeah, we're just on battery power. So I can run the TV, run the antenna, all of that stuff. And then like I say, if he does want Wi-Fi, it's just a matter of buying the router, which is fairly inexpensive. So pretty good setup, especially for being off-grid. There's a bunch of different setups, Starlink, some of those that are great setups. The downside to them is they are AC powered currently. So those of you that are watching the channel probably have watched Camp Liberty's channel also. He does have a setup to where he can run his Starlink on 12 volts. So anyways, there are ways around it if that's something that you're interested in. But yeah, this setup works pretty good. So you got your monitoring system, your cabinet, interior cabinet lights, AC plugs, water heater, and then a big double stainless steel sink. These are tip outs. And then you have your rows of drawers and more storage. And then I'll show you what he's got going on in the bathroom. A little bit different in here. No vanity or sink. It's just a bigger room with his toilet set up. Porcelain toilet. Little medicine cabinet. Your exhaust fan. And then a 32-inch shower. This one I'm assuming he's probably gonna do a curtain rod with a shower curtain on it instead of doing the door. Your frosted window, and then like I always tell you, these are all solid wood doors in these. But yeah, I think it's kind of a cool camp, kind of a unique layout, works really well for him. And I think that we'll probably end up doing a lot more of these. So anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts, what you like, maybe what you'd change, any of that stuff. So anyways, stay tuned. I've got a bunch more camps coming up. I know I've been slacking on the videos. But I do have a bunch more coming up. So anyways, stay tuned.